Good evening, everybody. How are we? I'll give a few people a chance to jump into the room before I start gabbling away. I am seriously excited to be telling you not my news anymore. It's about to be our news, and I just can't wait to share it with you. So let's get going. Let's see who's here with us. If you see me flicking my head to the side, it's because I am just checking my phone. When you're on the laptop, you can't see people's comments, and I just like to be able to keep up with people commenting and speaking to me. I don't want you to think I'm being rude and ignoring you if you ask me a question. So I just want to just make sure that the tech side of things is where it needs to be. So hi Janine, hi Kathy, lovely to have you with me. Stick some thumbs up. Hi Nicola, lovely to have you here as well. Hi Vic. Just, let me know that you're here, let me know that you can hear me and that everything's working as it should do. Thumbs up would be great. I want to do a little bit of a rundown for those of you who don't already know me. I know quite a few of you that are here know who I am and know what this is all about, or have an idea of what this is all about. But for those of you who are new to the UK group and have never heard me speak before and don't know anything about Pupstarts and where it all started and what it's all about, I just want to spend a couple of minutes just explaining where I'm coming from. So I've always worked with dogs, and I started my working life, I guess if you like, doing some work experience at Battersea Dogs Home. As a Londoner, that was the go-to place to get your work experience done, so I worked there for a bit, and then I was a pet carer, set up a pet care business that was then contracted out to run the London Borough of Waltham Forest Animal Warden Service. And during my time there, I was a licensing officer, because at that time, animal wardens used to license the pet premises, the boarding establishments. So I've licensed pet shops, boarding kennels, and the quarantine kennels actually in East London, that used to be run by the Goddard's group. So I had quite a lot of hands-on experience right up until my sort of early 20s, when I had children and moved to Shropshire, where I decided that I was going to put my skills and my experience to work as a breeder. And a lot of people will be saying, hang on a minute, how do you go from all of this rescue work and being an animal warden and being in the forefront of rescue work to being a breeder? Aren't these two things polar opposites? And actually, do you know what? They're completely not, because my time served in animal rescue really taught me that actually the reason that I had to be the person on a Friday night that was holding perfectly healthy dogs down while the vet was putting them to sleep, the reason that stuff happens, that heartbreaking, horrendous side of the dog industry happens, is because those dogs were badly bred, poorly raised, homed without consideration, and then failed when they were in their homes and they were forming their formative years, and they develop behavioural problems, and they develop issues that people find really difficult to live with, and then they find themselves in rescue and people don't want them, and those behavioural issues take skill and time and devotion and dedication to sort out, and people just can't be bothered, and there's more of them than there are homes ready, able and skilled to deal with them. So I started to think to myself, do you know what, we need to take this back to grassroots, we need to educate people. I need to stand up and educate people who have chosen to breed, people who are already breeding, on how to do it properly. So I started my own breeding program with my first Springer Spaniel, Jess, about 16 years ago. And since then, we've developed a program, a puppy socialisation program, protocols that we follow. We've developed a puppy profiling program, so we observe and profile the puppies that we breed here so that we can match them to the best fit homes. It's not just the first person that walks through the door that gets a puppy, and it's not the person that likes the pink one with blue spots. That's not how it works. Puppies have temperaments, personalities, individual, intrinsic parts of their personality that means that they are suitable for some people and they're not suitable for others. And as the breeder, I find that it is critical that we are taking on our responsibilities to that level. So, and then lockdown came along, and actually these practices that I have put into place across the 16 years of my own breeding career, I formulated into courses so that you guys can have the benefit of my knowledge, so that you guys can expand, grow, develop, so that you guys can breed better and do better, because that's ultimately where we all want to be, isn't it? You know, we don't want to be poorly breeding dogs. We don't want to be, not doing it to the very, very best of our ability. We love our dogs and we love our puppies. And when I want to talk about that, I want to, how many people, just put a little hand up in the comments for me, how many people have been embarrassed about saying that you've bred a litter of puppies or that you are actually a breeder? How many people have been embarrassed? I know I've been embarrassed. Okay, I know at one time or another, I know I've been talking to somebody who's really rescue orientated or would be quite judgmental about somebody who's breeding puppies. Has anybody experienced that? Stick your hands up in the comments if you've ever felt a bit like, oh my goodness, you know, I don't want to admit to this. Yeah, anybody been there? Stick some hands up for me. I want to move away from this, that we are all, you know, embarrassed by what we do. I want breeders to stand tall and be proud of what we do. For God's sake, we breed people's best friends. How many people like their dog more than they like a lot of people in their life? Me. How many people would choose their dog over some of their family members? That'll be me too. So, you know, at the end of the day, when we are creating these little lives and they mean so much to people, why aren't we treated like we've done something amazing? Why are we treated like we are some sort of second-rate industry that has no professionalism? And when I use the word professional, let me just be clear, I don't want people to hear the word professional and then hear the word puppy farmer. Okay, commercial. That's what people think, and that's rubbish. You can be professional in what you do and be really at the core of welfare. Nurses are professional. Midwives are professional. And their beliefs and they hold true what they do to the extent that it's their life's work. And I feel like that about breeders. You know, how many Sunday mornings, Saturday evenings, holidays have you missed? Do you still get up and see to your dogs on Christmas Day, on Boxing Day, on bank holidays? Do you not go to that party and have a drink because you know you've got to go home and see to those puppies when you get back? Do you say to your friends, I'm really sorry I can't be out that long, I've got to get back for the dogs? How much of you do you give to being a breeder? And well, if that's not professional, I don't know what is. But you know what? We can't be called professional. And we can't be called professional because there is no professionalism in our industry. Let me just hold on that thought. There was no professionalism in our industry, and that's about to change, and that's why I'm here tonight, because I have been beavering away in the background, and I really strongly, and I hope you can get a sense of it from me, I really strongly believe that we should be able to be recognised for the good that we do. Not all breeders are horrendous, we're not all Cruella de Vil, far from it. Most of us are deeply passionate about what we do and how we do it, and most of us come to this position to be breeding dogs because we love them and we think they're wonderful. So we don't want to be in a position where we're, skulking around in the shadows anymore, embarrassed about what we do. And so I have been working closely with iPET Network, and we have developed, drum roll please everybody, we have developed a level 3 certificate in dog breeding, litter socialisation and welfare. So that means that from the beginning of January, you guys are able to obtain a nationally recognised professional qualification in dog breeding, which means you get to have a big shiny certificate on your wall that says that you are professional at what you do. You are recognised, you are acknowledged, and it is time for dog breeding to stop being treated like some sort of second-rate industry, when actually, if we were to hold it on high and if we were to champion it and make it something that people strive to really do well at and to improve and to grow and develop within, that is the way that we are going to improve the whole industry. So it goes full circle, because we all want to be the best at what we can be. And now we've got a national qualification that recognises your achievements, a national qualification that says you are qualified to do what you love doing best. And what that means is that, can you just think about somebody saying this is where you're going to be able to set yourself apart? an owner asking the question, and this is what's going to come: are you qualified to breed dogs? Oh, I love that. Don't you just love that? Are you qualified to breed dogs? Hell yeah. I am so well qualified. And here it is right there. And that is just my life's work. I am completely excited about this, and I've been busting a gut to tell you all. I really have, and I've been working really hard. I've had a fab team helping me out. You know, we've treated ourselves to some new logos and some new branding, and I've got some great girls that I've been working with, and my business coach and my friends and my family have all supported me. It's been like living with a demon for the last 6 weeks, because I've done nothing but sit in front of this laptop, and if anybody speaks to me, I'm like, I can't talk, I'm too busy, I've got stuff going on, don't speak to me. But there you go, and there you have it. So I went off on my hollybobs and came back, and it had all been approved. There were no edits to make. There was nothing to do. It was just in excellence, all shiny and wrapped up and ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do, okay, we're not just going to drop it like this, okay? This is great, and I am so thrilled that you're all here to join me this evening. I'm just like busting about it. But it's going to get better than that, okay? That's not the end of tonight's little announcement for you all. It gets better, right? Who wants to hear the next bit? Am I allowed to have a glass of water? Feeling a bit thirsty. It is water, by the way. It's not gin, I promise. Yet. It'll be gin later. We are going to celebrate this because this is massive. This is massive for our industry. You know, can you think back of a time when the first mechanics qualification, you had to be a qualified mechanic in order to be able to work on a car? Or the first electrical qualification, you couldn't be an electrician if you hadn't done the qualifications. You know, that's where this is going. This is where this is going. You know, it's just going to be amazing, and this is the start of it. This is the start of us being able to stand up and be proud of what we do, and to set a bar, set a level of expectation. If we want to up-level the industry, then we all need to stand tall and do it together. And, you know, I can't do it on my own. I need your help. I can't do it by myself. It's going to take everybody who loves dogs, everybody who's passionate about welfare, everybody who actually wants to make a difference. It takes all of you. And if we all stand together and stand strong and promote this kind of education, this supportive environment, that's how we make a difference to the dogs of our future. And that sounds like a wild statement, but you know what? It isn't. Because if we start to change the breeding practices that are happening all over the country, if we start changing the mindset on that now, can you imagine the calibre and the quality of the dogs that we are going to see in 5 years' time, 6 years' time, 7 years' time? The dogs you've got now, what about the next generation of the dogs that you're going to have? That's where it's at, okay? So, because that's so massive, what we're going to do is we are going to host a week. Well, actually, it's more than a week. It's like 9 days because I couldn't fit it all into a week. Sorry about that. At the end of November, it's going to be a group on Facebook, a pop-up group. So it's going to be just a little group that's only there for 9 days and then it's going to go again. But in that group, we are going to have guest speakers. We are going to have vets. We are going to have veterinary nurses. We are going to have dog trainers, behaviourists, nutritionists, groomers. Everybody that you can think of that is relevant to our industry, who is good at what they do and is credible, is going to come and have a chat with us, however their industry affects the breeding world, yeah? So that it's relevant to what we do. And I'm super excited about it. We've got some really cool people come forward and be like, yeah, we so want to be part of this. We've got Tailwise breeders who want to be involved. Obviously, iPET Network, who have, you know, put this qualification on the national framework. They have been super to work with. What a great gang of people they are. Very, very professional. And actually, I just want to say the girl that I've been working with throughout has been completely dedicated to this. Her name's Alex. She's actually gone on maternity leave. She worked up to the Friday. She had her baby on Monday. That's how dedicated to this she was. She wanted to get this through. She worked right the way up till last Friday and carried it while I was on holiday and delivered her baby girl on Monday. So congratulations to you, Alex. I just want to say that's a bit of an amazing one for me. So there are some people who are seriously putting themselves out. So we're going to have this pop-up week, okay, where we're all going to get in this group. and we're all going to celebrate everything dog breeding. And within that week, we have set up something that is going to be an annual thing, and it is National Dog Breeder Day. Okay, and this is a little gift from me to you guys, because I want something set in stone, a line in the sand. This is who we are. This is what we stand for. We are ethical. We want to be acknowledged for what we do. We're proud of what we do. And so therefore we're going to have an annual celebration, because this is not some fly-by-night thing. This is not some here today, gone tomorrow thing. This is here to stay. This is the way the industry is moving forward. And we need to stand up and be counted and say, no, we're not backyard breeders. We're not doing this in the wrong way. We don't want to be associated with people that don't have the well-being and the care of their dogs and their puppies in the bosom of what they're doing. We are people who are better than that. And the more we stand strong and we lift people up to join us, I'm sick of all this bashing people down, bashing breeders down, we're not going to get into it, but the whole thing of how terrible we all are and how unethical we all are, we all are, I love that. I'm like, well, hang on a minute, what are you talking about? That is not where it's at. We are standing tall. We are going to illuminate this industry. If it kills me, we are going to, and it might, we are going to illuminate this industry, because it is the only way to benefit our dogs for the longer term. So that's it. That's my news. I hope you're all pleased with the news. I hope you all think it's a good idea. Let's have a look at the comments. I've been so nervous about coming on. I'm quite happy to come on and talk to you all, but I've been so nervous. So let's have a look. Who have we got in the comments? Anybody? Victoria saying fantastic, excited to see what's coming. Nicola saying there's going to be a level 3 qualification for the lake. Oh, okay, somebody missed what was going on. Fair enough. Ricky saying exciting prospect. Catherine, what have I missed? A level 3 certificate. So to be clear, it's called the iPET Network Level 3 Certificate in Dog Breeding, Litter Socialisation and Welfare. So yeah, it's going to be mega. So if anybody's got any questions about it, please bear with me, because I've been quite excited about telling you, quite excited about coming in here and saying, this is what's going on. And over the course of the next week to 10 days, there will be more information dripped out around the week that we're going to hold, around the guests that are going to be joining us, around how you're going to get access to that. I'm going to share with you some posts around the National Breeder Day so that you guys get to use it on your socials, so that we can really promote it, because the more breeders that we can get into that group, the better. So if you guys are specific breeders, if you breed German Shepherds, or if you breed Cavalier King Charles, or you breed crossbreeds of any description, and you have a particular breed group, please advertise this within your breed group. Get as many breeders as you can over, ethical breeders. We don't want anybody who's not doing it properly unless they're prepared to learn. And we want them all to come over into that pop-up group, which is going to be there for the week. And we all want to stand strong, and we all want to be there together, having this experience, being able to talk to these vets, being able to talk to the nutritionists, being able to get your questions answered, so we can have a week of solid support, education and learning to kick off this whole ethos, and so that we can celebrate you all and your excellence and the difference that you make to people's lives because of the puppies that you provide to them, and the time and the dedication and the effort and the missed family outings and the holidays you don't get to go on, and the Sunday mornings you see literally every minute of every Sunday morning. I know, I walk in your shoes. I know how hard you work. If you're doing it properly, you're exhausted. I get it. I totally get it. And if you're like me, you're sick of this absolutely crushing mentality that we're all evil. That if somehow you make a living from breeding dogs, you're doing something dishonest, which is just rubbish, to be quite honest. But I think it's important that we continue to learn, continue to grow, continue to listen. That, it's not, we've got it all covered. Every day's a school day. We're always going to continue to learn more. That is what education is all about. And we can all support one another within the group. The ethos of the support, commenting on posts, offering advice, kindness, uplifting. That's where we want it to be. That is exactly where we want it to be. And if you're standing tall like that, it attracts other people that want to stand tall with you. It's a really attractive quality. And the more breeders we attract, the better it will be for the dogs. And that's where it's got to be at for all of us, really. So I just want to double check that I haven't got any further questions. Gavin, how do we sign up to it? There is a pre-enrollment on the website, which is pupstartsbreeders.com. And you can pre-enroll for the January start date. Yeah, and all of the questions are on there. Everything that you're going to need to know about it is on there. I will be releasing details on prices. I will be, releasing details on the course. Like I say, the course page is already there, so you'll see what it involves. Basically, I'm going to be teaching it. You get to see me for 3 months. It's delivered online through iPET Network's ePortfolio, and I'll be doing Zoom classes. And those Zoom classes will be spread over, so there's three chapters to the course, if you like, and there are going to be Zooms for the first chapter, Zooms for the second chapter, and Zooms for the third chapter, and I will be hand-holding people throughout that. It literally takes you through the whole process, from conception, or considering conception, right the way through whelping, through raising, and then observing and matching your puppies so that you can profile them and match them to their owners properly, and then right the way through to supporting them into the family home. So it is the whole thing, okay? It isn't an exam type assessment at the end. I know a lot of people don't like that sit down very formal exam. It isn't that. It's a one-to-one assessment with me. There is some documentation that you will need to provide because obviously it is a nationally approved qualification, so it's not some 2-bit thing that's, there is a framework that I have to, it's my course, but there is a framework that I have to adhere to. And so yeah, it's all done above board and nice and proper. Will you still need to be council registered? No, not at all, Alex. Nobody needs to be council registered. This is a point that I do actually want to speak about around this, because there will be people who say, I'm only going to breed 1 litter. I don't need to worry about getting a qualification. Just think about that in a frame for a second, because just because you're only breeding 1 litter, does that mean that the 1 litter that you're breeding is not important enough to learn how to do it properly? That 1 litter might be 10 puppies. And I would like to ask how many people get to see 10 puppies as 10 adult dogs. If I took a litter of puppies when they were 12 months old and put them in a kennel block, and you could see them all lined up in a kennel block, the enormity of the volume of dog you'd bred would be quite overwhelming for most people. It's different when we see them and they're all little cutesy. You give me 10 adult dogs and say, there you go, that's what you bred. It looks massive. It looks huge. So even if you're breeding 1 litter, 1 dog is valuable enough to know how you do it properly. Your bitch, she's valuable enough for you to invest some time to learn how to look after her properly. She'd do it for you if the boot was on the other foot, wouldn't she? Who else have we got here? It starts in January, Debs. I'm going to start the first. I don't think people are going to want to do it in December, because Christmas is there and everybody's busy, so we're going for a January start. Suzanne says, absolutely brilliant, thank you. Vicky says, so pleased for you. Gavin says, how do we sign up? I think I've just answered that. How will we be able to apply for the certificate? What happens is when you've completed the course is assessed. I assess it, and then whether you passed or failed, and then if you fail, you get the opportunity to come back to me for further training until you do pass, because the aim of it is you're going to get through it, and then Ofqual process the results, and they then send you the certification. The final certification doesn't actually come from me. I will give everybody a certificate that I've made, but actually Ofqual sends you that, and that takes about 8 weeks to come through. Will this info be for the public, for potential puppy owners to see? How will someone buying a puppy know how to ask for qualifications? Well, Claire, the more that this is known about, when you've got companies like Tailwise Breeders taking note, one could be, if I told you that I intended to contact Pets for Homes and say, how about you put a button on saying, are you qualified or not? Let's see your breeder qualifications. You know, this is where it's all going, isn't it? You know, where people advertise puppies, licensing, the whole industry is moving forward. They want to see socialisation plans. They want to know what you're doing with your puppies. Health testing, temperament testing, all of this stuff is just where it's headed. So it's going to become more and more and more regulated, and it will become, because, you know, it's an industry that needs to be regulated desperately. And those nationally approved qualifications are going to be what is going to be accepted. I don't want to differentiate really between people who are licensed and people who aren't licensed, because for me, like I've just said, 1 litter of puppies is just as valuable as 10 litters of puppies. But when you're looking at licensing and you're looking at the licensing wording, DEFRA state that you need to have a minimum level 3 off-qual accredited course, approved course. And actually there isn't one, or there wasn't one. The closest thing you could get was canine training and behaviour. Now that's and that doesn't even cover the dog's reproductive system. So, you know, it wasn't particularly relevant to our industry, but it was the closest thing we could all get. Now you have the option to actually learn what you want to do. Learn about the actual thing. So that's you know, so when we're asking about, you know, will it be put into the public domain? Yeah, you'll be able to shout about from the rooftops about it, because I'll be putting it, you know, I'll be giving you certificates, and you'll be able to put things on your website, on your socials. You'll be able to say to people, you can hang it on the wall and say, yeah, I'm qualified. I've got my level 3 in dog breeding. Kathy says, yeah, you'll put it in your advertising. Yeah, you will. You'll put it in your advertising. If you're going to advertise a litter of puppies, you're going to say to people, this is what we do with the puppies. This is what I am. These are my qualifications. There you go. Will some of the content we've learnt in the other courses be similar to the level 3 course? Yes, it is similar. I didn't invent dog breeding. So the way it all happens is the way it all happens. It wasn't my idea. So yeah, there is some content that is similar. Yeah, there is. But what you don't have with the completely online courses is you don't have anybody teaching you. So you don't learn it perhaps in such greater depth. It's the discussion. It's the level that this of the learning that this goes to. It's obviously the official qualification and the recognition that goes with it. But it's learned over that 3-month period in a container where you can get backwards and forwards support and advice. What it will also do is it will also create, and whenever I've been on a course and I've done some learning in this kind of environment, you build up a network and a framework of people and friends and a support group. And that is super important for breeders, I think, because there are so many differences between breeds. There are so many differences between experiences that what one person experiences as a breeder is not what another person experiences as a breeder. So, you know, all those French Bulldog breeders who have to deal with C-sections and then have to hand feed their puppies and put them in incubators to rear them, versus all of us guys who whelp Springer Spaniels, who basically sit down, pretty much shell them like peas and look after them, no bother. Those two experiences are wildly different. So this kind of environment where everybody can learn from one another, and yes, I will teach you, of course I will teach you, but not one person, don't be so, you know, we mustn't be arrogant. Nobody knows it all. And so we can get a lot of benefit from bouncing off of one another in that kind of group environment. So we've spread it over a 3-month period with the assessment at the end. And during that time, you get one-to-one with me, you get group sessions, as much support as you need, really. No, the information is not on the normal portal yet, Nicola, because this is a separate. The pre-enrolment is on the website, and it is on Thinkific as your normal portal would be. Okay, so for those people who have already learnt with me and have already done courses with me, you have access to pretty much everything we do. However, this, because it is with iPET Network and it is with Offqual, there is a pre-enrolment bundle there, yes, but the actual course content is not on my normal platform. It is on iPET Network's ePortfolio. But whoever enrolls, I will talk you through that. Can we do it if we're not breeding at the moment? Absolutely. Do you know, like, my perfect in the ideal world would be somebody who hasn't started to breed yet but wants to learn before they do. How many of us learn on the job? I know I did. Yeah, I've got friends who I was calling 16 years ago going, what do I do? You know, and at that point, you're risking your bitch's life. You're risking the puppy's life. You know, it's like the blind leading the blind, isn't it, with dog breeding? Because there isn't anywhere to go and learn how to do it, okay? But now there is. So instead of being in a position where you're struggling in the first instance, you get the opportunity to walk the path virtually, yeah, before you actually have to walk the path, and it's your bitch laying there struggling and you don't know what to do for her, or it's the puppies that are not feeding and you don't know how to deal with it, or you're not quite sure that the owner that's come forward for that particular puppy is the right person and you don't really know how to cope with it. You know, all of these questions are answered and dealt with, and so therefore if you were to do it prior to breeding a litter of puppies, even better, because you are then set up. Now that said, if you're already breeding, that doesn't exclude you. That doesn't mean it's too late because you've already done it and you don't need to learn anymore. Far from it. There's, like I say, every day's a school day. There's always something new to learn. And within breeding, because it's such a wide, vast thing, you can learn different things from different breeders, different breeds, different breeders, different experiences. Okay. Thank you, Maxine. Sounds amazing, Rebecca. Well done. Thank you, guys. Yeah, there'll be a link on the website. So for those of you who want to have a look, www.pupstartsbreeders.com. That's my husband saying nice things. He just wants his dinner, because I haven't fed him for about 3 months. It's been great. I'm like, no, I can't cook tonight. Working on the course. Sorry. Lots of positive stuff. Lots and lots of positive stuff. Will it be recorded lessons or like an evening or live day course? No, it won't be. It won't be recorded. It'll be me speaking. It'll be me speaking. It'll be live sessions. It'll be done in Zoom, in private Zoom rooms. So you'll get Zoom links, and then we'll all pile in. However many people enrol, there is a limit. I'm only taking an amount per enrolment. So I'm doing 4 enrolments in a 12-month period. So there'll be an enrolment in January, and then there'll be an enrolment in March, and then there'll be an enrolment in June, so that I can make sure I'm not oversubscribing myself, make sure that I can give my students everything that they need, and make sure that I am hand-holding people properly. So there is a limit to the amount of people that I'm taking on each enrolment. Gavin, how much would it be? It is the price of a puppy. It's £1,250, £1,250. So the price of it, and that includes VAT, that includes all of the assessments, that includes your certification, the whole 9 yards. Okay, that's on there. And then to enrol, to secure your enrolment, is £250 in advance. And then you pay the remaining 1,000 2 weeks before the course starts, whenever your course start date would be. Yeah, you can enrol now, but you could enrol for the March intake, or you could enrol for the June intake, or the January intake, or whatever. But you can enrol and secure your spot. Yeah, I'll pop the link in. I think. Oh, Victoria's just popped the link for the website into the chat there, and Ricky's just put the right, so there you go, you've got the link in the chat to the pre-enrollment. That's in there for you. But have a look through. If you've got any questions, if anybody needs to know anything about it, if you're not sure, you want to ask me some questions about it, that's what I'm here for. Absolutely fine. And what I want you to take away from tonight is that we're having this breeder week. Okay, that's that's going to be a massive thing. That's a really, really huge thing. National Dog Breeder Day, 25th of November. Okay, so I want you to be looking out for the posts. I want you to download the posts, nick them off the page, save them on your phone, and start banding it about everywhere. Okay, because we're all in this together, guys. Okay, yeah, okay, this is my job and whatever, but I can't do it without you. I can't do it on my own. And I need support from you guys. The dogs need support from you guys. We need to stand tall for one another. So it's hashtag National Dog Breeder Day. And I want you jumping all over it, because the more of us, doing it together, that's how we make the difference. And then we can all get into that group. I'm going to drive you mad with posts. Sorry about that. And it's going to be, it's going to be fantastic. I want to know, what questions do you want answering? We're going to have some industry experts in the group for free. So start to make use of that. Start to think about, what do I want to know about nutrition? Or if I could ask a vet something, I'd ask them X, Y, Z. I've got some people coming in to talk to you about some really interesting developmental stuff for puppies, some really cool stuff that you're going to learn loads from. And it's just a little flavour of what's to come, because there's more of this coming, there's more education coming, there's some more support coming. It doesn't stop here, right? I'm not somebody that stops. So yeah, thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you for giving up your Wednesday evening, and and I feel so much better for sharing it all with you and letting you know what's gone on. So thank you. I love you all, and I hope that was the news. I hope it's news that you're all happy to hear. All right, guys, I will coming soon to a Facebook group near you. See you soon.